Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Zalecki. I'm just going to do a quick overview of how to put together a graph for 104 on your demand graph, also 105, your supply graph. This video is to help you graph it. It's really not to be in place of watching and reading the lesson. So please go through, understand what demand is economically speaking, because you need that for your DBA and also to pass the test. And then I'm going to do is show you just how to put together the graph itself, because sometimes that gets a little bit difficult when it comes to doing it digitally. What we're going to do is when I'm on page 3 of 4, the whole assignment is to set up a graph like this. You're going to make your own demand graph. This is on Nike shoes. You're going to end up with 3 lines. Notice there's a green one, a white, yellow one, and a orange one. So what I'm going to do is kind of take you through the steps of how to get that started. And the directions for what to submit are always the last page of your module lesson. Here we are at 104, page 4 out of 4. And here's your directions on how to create the graph. They just don't give you a specific place to go on the internet to make a digital one. So that's what this is going to be all about. So once you do that, you need to have some data to actually graph, and that's what step 1 is. They're going to give you the data or the numbers to graph. So they're here. You go hit this data generator. So now the price of whatever my product is going to be $50 to $250. How many I sell is going to range from 900 to 100. And in an email I'll send you this link, but here's a link right here across the top of the URL, a place to generate a graph. This works for any course that you have to make a graph in. So there's different types of graphs. This is going to be a line graph. You want to go ahead and put a title in here, and this is a demand. And for 105, you're going to make a supply one. And then you have to tell me what you want the X and Y graph to look like. So let's go back here so that you remember in the course. The X is always the quantity, the number sold, and the Y is the price. So when I come back, this is quantity. This is price. Remember, you don't need to make up any of the numbers that came from the data generator that we had. So here's our numbers, and it's 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, all the way to 80. So that's pretty easy to remember. When I come over here, the price starts at $40. Oops, hit the wrong page. I'm so sorry. Hang in there. So I have the X completely filled in. Now we got to do the Y. Remember, that is the quantity, or how many of the specific item that you sold. So I'm just going to pull this up over here so you can see it goes from 8,000 to 7 to 6. Oh, it's not really easy to just copy over. Let me just move this. We can see them both on the screen at the same time. Okay, so now I've got how many I sold and the price that I sold them at. And down here you can pick what size. You might as well go with the large one. You can do extra large or large. And you want to save it so that you can upload it to me. You can pick any colors you want here. That doesn't matter to me. But save it as a PNG or a JPEG. And we're going to go create a printable graph. So now this is fine, but it only has one line on it. We want to actually have 3 lines on it. So the easiest way I think to do this is to open the Paint program on your computer. Everybody should have that on their computer. Just go over to the search bar and then click Paint, and the program will come up, and then you want to open up the graph and then draw 2 more lines on it. So here's Paint without the graph in it, and here's the graph. Alright, so here's your graph, and remember we needed to have 3 lines, and the trick to doing this, again, I'm not teaching you the specifics of how the lesson works, it's the specifics of how to use this graph. I'm in Paint, I'm going to use my draw tool, and I'm going to draw 2 different lines different colors. Let's see, I want to pick a green up here, I think. And I'm going to make it parallel. Oop, that didn't come out green. I guess I didn't hit the button strong enough, but there's one line. And let's see if I can pick the color. I don't want red either. Something that shows up a little bit better. Purple. So now I've got 3 lines. It doesn't look very pretty. Hopefully you guys are a little better at this than I am. And then you have to label them. So remember, it's a demand graph. The first line is D1. The second one to the right, which will make sense as you read your lesson. There's a shift to the right, is D2. And then this is the third one is D3. Notice I'm just using the tools from Paint to make my graph nice and easy. I used the graph generator for the first one, and then this, I just took this graph and put it in here, and I drew 2 extra lines running parallel to D1. And I'm almost done, except for there's 3 questions that you have to answer. So look those up. The 3 reflection questions. Alright, and put them right here in Paint if you wanted to. So you could put 1 and then write type and save it and then upload it to the course. Just a quick way to use the online graphing tool. Hope this helps. Thanks. Bye.